Welcome to Of Stardust and Earth. Be humble, you're made of earth. Be noble, you're made of the stars. I'm Jen Brown, and this is a safe space for intimate, raw conversations about sexuality, creativity, self-expression, spirituality, really everything that lights my soul on fire. So I invite you to journey with me and the beautiful friends I meet around the globe, diving into provocative explorations about love, life, and being your most radiant self.
Hi friends, this is a total first for me, creating a Solocast. And I thought that it would be perfect to do it right here on this biomat in my living room, because this is where I have been writing and dreaming and recovering and just spending a lot of time right now, especially when it's been cloudy out. And I actually wrote the spoken word poem that I'm going to read here, right here on this mat too. So it felt very appropriate. I'm no makeup, no hair, getting ready to go to dance class, which also felt very real, since this poem is about my expression. Basically, for some backstory on this, I grew up dancing. It was, and still is, my very first love. Like the thing that makes me feel the most joyful and alive and lit up in the whole world. And it's what I originally thought that I wanted to do for a living, actually, until it got to a place where doing it every day, and not from a place just for myself and for my own joy, but from a place of like hypercriticism at that time in my life, it was killing something inside of me that I felt was sacred. And that was the point at which I decided to take a step back, and I actually decided to pursue photography instead. And over the years, I've danced off and on, and it's always been something that's really important in my life. But it wasn't until last summer that I really decided to devote myself to it again. And this year has been just such an explosion for me, and I really do credit it to how much I've been pouring myself into dancing. And even like sharing it on social media in the beginning in my stories was like so weird and so edgy and hard for me. I felt like, who's going to want to look at this? Also, like, is this too sexy? Is this too expressed? Like, what are people going to think? And I definitely have gotten a range of reactions, but more than anything, the thing that it's really done for me is help me to reclaim again that this is such a huge part of my identity and what makes me the most expressed and joyful every day. And it's been so transformational and so healthy for me. And so it's felt like a really important thing to continue to share. And the amount of people in my life that it has inspired, like all my girls who now come with me to dance class and are finding their own space for self-expression and trauma release and just feeling sexy and good in their bodies. It's like this incredible snowball effect. And I think that that's something that I feel really passionately about, is recognizing that a big part of who I am and what my role is to courageously put myself out there in life sometimes, even when it feels exposed or uncomfortable, because it helps the people in my community to feel like they have the safety to do it as well. So that's been a big part of my journey. And I love doing dance that is very feminine, that is really tapping into our divine sensual energy And so as that's become more and more expressed as well, and I feel like I'm like reaching new levels of confidence with being able to even just experience that in my own body and then be able to share it. It continues to bring up more shadow work for myself as well. So it's this beautiful cycle of expansion and contraction. So I think 2 weeks ago now, or 3 weeks ago now, I do these filmed classes at Madhouse, which shout out to Madhouse. It's like my second home and really the safest, most incredible, inspiring place to be a woman. Like I love it so much. All of the teachers are insanely talented and the best cheerleaders, and just give so much permission for all of us to push outside of our comfort zones. And the owner and founder, Liv, is just like, she's my idol. I'm so impressed with this woman. She's just the coolest. So they host these classes that are filmed where you come in, you learn choreography for the first like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. You practice, and then you have an opportunity to get up and perform one time for a professional videographer. And it's, as somebody who grew up performing, and I'm Leo rising, and I'm realizing like I fucking love being in front of the camera. You know, I think I hid for a lot of years being behind the camera as a photographer, which I also absolutely love. I feel like it's such a part of who I am, but I really thrive in front of it too. It's so fun to have these opportunities to get up and dance like that, and then to be able to take home something that is really professional quality. And it's been such an amazing challenge watching myself be able to drop into the moment in these situations and really let my heart shine. So we did this filmed class, and I did it with my best friend, Megan, and we decided to go all out. It was like this really sexy twerking choreography by Nira, she's a stunning human. You got to go take her class. And I was really proud of it. Next day, I got my footage. I posted some of my stories, so I was so excited about it. And then I immediately had like this massive heart contraction. And I think that this is something that pretty much anybody out there who has ever put themselves out in any sort of way, whether it's singing, public speaking, dancing, as an artist, like really anything, you have all of this excitement and this joy. And then you can also experience that like reverberation where you are like, whoa, was that too much afterwards? So rather than taking it down, I leaned into all of those feelings, just getting really curious about that discomfort. And from it came this poem that I'm about to share. And I actually set it as well, the first part of it, to our dance. So it's a spoken word over the dance. So if you go over to my Substack or my Instagram, and I think I can link it below here actually as well, then you will actually be able to see that. And it's something that I feel really excited about doing more, is creating spoken word and combining it with the visual art of dance and photography and filming, and creating these art pieces that really encapsulate like so many different parts of me and different parts of expression that maybe you will relate to. So thank you for listening and supporting, and I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna read it because I don't think I'll be able to remember it, but one day my goal is to be doing these spoken word live too. Okay. More, they scream. In a world where I've tried so hard my whole life to be less, smaller, quieter, skinnier, demure, the exhilaration of dancing for a room full of full-bodied, full-hearted, badass bitch women who celebrate my wildest expression is utterly intoxicating. Every single time I'm on the dance floor, I'm deconditioning myself, claiming the courage to be a bigger, more expressed Jen. I venture with hot pink paint further outside of society's coloring book black lines, my heart flip-flopping inside out, expanding in ecstasy and then shuddering in contraction. But it's spaces like these full of permission and inspiration that light my soul the fuck up. Doing the dance is one thing, so wild in itself, the feeling of being so exposed while so expressed. I care. I strive. I practice, leaning into the discomfort that is stretching my body, heart, soul. Devoting myself to grow to be the best dancer and performer I can become. So many years after I thought I missed my dancing prime. Going full out. Expression without apology. But the sharing of my dancing publicly and on social media, particularly for anyone and everyone to see, it's just a whole nother level. A mini heart attack every time. Le petit mort. Both terrifying and orgasmic. I'm not gonna lie, every time I click share, I have two contradictory parts battling within. It's so deep, this Madonna whore imprint. Will I be devoured by the tribe for being so unashamed? My ego pleads, you can't be that girl. How can you be a mom and dress like that? How will a respectable man want to be with you when you're dancing this way? What will your clients, your peers, your kids think? Will I be hated, judged, ostracized, abused, raped, cast out, killed? It feels dramatic to even speak these words, but we all know there are so many places in the world where it's not safe to be a woman. Period. And certainly not safe to be a woman in her sexual articulation and sovereignty. But I intrinsically, inescapably, undeniably am both saint and sex priestess, and so many other shades of the rainbow that is woman. I can't hide or pretend these archetypes aren't alive in my DNA, destined and begging to be made manifest through this body in this lifetime. And really, what is the point, I ask myself daily? What is the purpose of any of this if it's full of regrets, half-hearted attempts? How boring, how meaningless, how wasteful of this precious life I get if I don't fully live it. Before I learned my sensuality could be dangerous, before I was taught to have shame for my body and the way she loves to move, I was a little girl who loved to dance naked in the sunshine, to play dress up with my friends, to flirt with life, to feel pleasure, to know what it is to be ecstatically alive and turned on in every cell. I read this quote the other day and boy, did it hit. Being a leader doesn't mean you have followers. It means you go first. So I take the next step into the magic darkness, one sexy heel striding in front of the next. Who knows where this dance journey will lead me? It's already transported me to joy, to bliss, to connection, to sisterhood, to self-love, to silly, silly fun, to my essence, to my nectar, to my light. And I'd say that's not a bad start. Thank you guys for listening. I would love if you want to share in the comments or direct message me, and your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences on this, if this is something that you've encountered in your life as well. I feel like it's such an important thing, especially for people who, I think that other people can get the impression sometimes of me of like, oh, she's that's easy for her. She's not shy. She's whatever their thoughts are. I grew up incredibly shy and kept everything very close to the chest. And there's always been this part though that's like so alive in me that needs to self-express and that wants to be unique and that just wants to be authentically me. And so even in my shyest and my darkest times, I see when I look back that there was this deeper part of me that was always like, it was like, if you look at the sidewalk and the cracks and there's like these little blooms that they're trying to make their way up through the concrete. I feel like there's always been this part of me. And with my friends in the dance community and the art community, I know that they go through the same kinds of feelings. And really the only way is just to keep sharing it and let each other know, first of all, we're not alone. It's totally normal to have the fear. And then to say, fuck it, and just do it anyways. So thanks for listening. I love you guys. And I will be back with many more podcasts, especially on my travels as I leave for Brazil next week.